Gullible minion, do-pa-dee-doo. I've got a germ tale just for you. Gullible minion, do-pa-dee-dee. If you are wise, you will listen to me. What
Do you get when a germ starts to spread?
filling up minions with lies in their heads,
Spreading defamation all over the site.
dodging the rules while avoiding the light.
He's untouchable.
Or so he thinks.
Gullible minion, do-pa-dee-doo.
I've got a germ tale just for you.
Gullible minion, do-pa-dee-dee.
If you are wise, you will listen to me.
What do you get for a suit gone to trash?
A judge who says, drop that ridiculous hash,
8 people sued just to make a new clip.
while the germ lets a dismissal slip with prejudice.
Don't come back! Gullible minion, do-pa-dee-doo.
The germ is just making a sucker of you.
You will live in legal bliss.
Like a lawsuit that just got dismissed.
Hello everyone. Happy Wednesday. Here we are tonight on an off night for me, but I did not come on last night for different reasons. Lots going on, and I just wanted to say hello, make sure I came on. Sorry I'm late. I was waiting for Robbie to end, and then I was actually a little sleepy. So here I am. How are you guys doing tonight? Let's see. Hey, Noelle. Jay, my voice is cracking. Marla, WB Granny, Gigi, Yvonne, Betty, Kim, Tammy B, Sylvie C. Oh my goodness. Hello. Hi, everyone. Bearded, how are you? Sorry I'm late. I told Gabe, I said, what's up? Yeah, I will. Gabe's doing good, guys. People seem to be obsessed with him. Yeah. Hey, Stacy. Hi, Lucy. Kalani, hello. Britta. Maggie, hi. Chicky Chi. Garbage Gut. I am. Hey, Sassy Sally. Shauna. It was a justice. I know. I saw that after I printed the label. I'm like, all right, well, we're good. Let's try to get my husband. Oh, right on, Georgia. Cool. Hey, Kevin Jays. Harper. Hey, Marla. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm still like waking up a little bit, believe it or not. It's been a long couple of days here. So I'm also looking at a couple of things here. Hold on one sec, sorry. All right, we got that. So have anybody of you heard that I don't know, there's been a couple of filings today in the bankruptcy court for Michelle. Interesting. Pretty long ones too. So long that they've had to use AI to dissect them and give you just a blunt little synopsis of filings. Yes, I filed objections to the subpoena and the requests for information on, let's say, what kind of bullshit was he asking for? Oh, right. So he was asking for copies of my members only video that had Michelle on it, and wanting to know about all kinds of information on correspondence with me, Michelle, John, anybody, this, that, the other, all the information from people, all the way back to, what was it, April 1st? And I completely objected to it. I gave him 168 reasons why. One of the main reasons why is because he doesn't have the right to know any of my viewers' information. And to me, that was bullshit. So, have y'all heard? Have y'all heard? Oh, you're all the best. I don't think you deserve what's happening to you. Thank you, Kelly. Ray Bone Crusher, what's going on? Terry Silverstone, Tammy B. Hello, hello. Sorry. As soon as I came out here, there's a bunch of messages I have. Let me see something. Hold on. Yeah, let me just fix this. Okay. So there's 168 objections to the subpoena. Of course, I wasn't served. But it's funny. I did, because obviously I know about the paperwork, right? They all said I was served and stuff. And so I emailed Shockit last week. Was it the 7th? Yeah, I'm not sure the date. I have to go back and look at it at this moment. But I emailed him, and I let him know that I was not served properly, and it was not valid service. And he read it. He read it more than once, and then he hung on it. He waited. He didn't reply. So he decided to wait, thinking that, the deadline's going to pass and all this crap, whatever, stalling, right, before he responded. And then when he did respond, he's like, you missed the deadline. You did this, blah, blah, blah. You are commanded to respond within 48 hours, blah, 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 blah. I said, okay. Didn't even respond to him. I said, fuck it. Went right above his head and went right to the court and filed my 168 objections. So let him have fun with that. Of course, I sent him a copy of what I was filing. And he didn't respond to it. I didn't think he would, because I think the judge is going to be pissed off that any of this is in the bankruptcy court. But I filed it, and I have every right to file it. And does anybody want me to read it? You'll get the gist of it through the beginning. But I have it here. Are you ready? Does anybody want to hear it? Or shall we talk about husbands? Everybody wants to go after my husband. But what about the one person? Anyone wants a copy of Lisa's filings? Message me. There you go, Marla. Thank you, Marla. Thank you for the super chat. So they want to go after husbands, but they think that theirs isn't relevant. Isn't it amazing? You go after my husband. You go after Leslie's husband. You go after someone's partner, whether it's domestic or not. John. You went after Bruce's wife. So you think people's spouses are relevant to go after? Well, there's a guy out there who I kind of feel bad for. I feel bad for him. Just got his MBA 2 years ago, and here he is. He's got a wife that's online grifting for years. Even putting videos out there that she's telling her father she's broke. I feel bad for him. You know, but you know, he's sitting there. He has a you know a pretty decent job. He has an MBA, and she's grifting. I'm kind of like, wow, you know, really feel bad. And what's amazing is he works for a beer, wine, and spirits place. They pretty much market brands, you know, like I don't know, Crown, things like that, beer. Yeah, is that why there's so much alcohol in that house? I mean, I don't know. Isn't she always drinking and talking about partying and all kinds of stuff like that? Yeah, maybe because a lot of it's free. Mm. Let's move on. Are you reading the news filings tonight? I am. I'm going to. Rich, you want to come on and read? Rich is better at all of them. He understands it all. But yeah, I think it's quite amazing, though. I really, really feel bad for this guy because here it is. You have a wife that's online ruining people's lives and reputation. All right, I'm going to send Rich a link. Right on. Cool. Hold on. Let's see. Let me get to that link, Rich. Here we go. Sorry. I didn't even think it was filed today. I was waiting for it to be filed. And it wasn't till like later on this afternoon. So I had no idea until like 20 minutes ago it was filed. So anyhow, or that it showed up on the docket, put it that way. But yeah, so I'm kind of, you know, I'm feeling bad for this guy who his wife's online basically trashing people, ruining lives, you know, lying about people left and right. And this guy, you know, is working his butt off. What would happen if, like, his peoples found out what kind of a wife he had and what she was up to and what she was doing? You know, that's really messed up. Like that, she could be a liability for him. You know, liability for his job. I mean, that's messed up. But then again, they go after people's jobs, don't they? Isn't it amazing? It's a really good fucking thing that I am nothing like that. Because that's pretty sad. You know? And I really actually feel bad for someone like him. You know, oh, he didn't smoke a joint. Doesn't smoke a joint. No, he just promotes alcohol and his wife's, you know, what, half shit-faced a lot of the time. Nobody realizes it. She's so functional. I mean, that's my opinion anyway. But you know it's really kind of messed up. But so then you got Tuggy Tugs. What do we call him? Wigglesworth, Tugglesworth. Tug on Sunday was saying that Michelle was attacked on Tulies and talks about when Michelle wasn't allowed to chat. Michelle was always allowed to chat in my chat. Some of her messages was removed for her own protection. How do you know anyway, Tug? You're not in my chat. Or are you? Or is it that Mark Vanderloft is the one who's sending you information and you're speed listening to it or whatever? Whether it's sending you information, screenshots, AI transcripts, or you know, clips from my video. You talk about speeding it up and barely listening. So is that why you lie all the time? Because you don't know what you're talking about? But I believe everybody here knows that Michelle is not blocked here. But, you know, another lie, another day, right? Tug asked subs for bail money, so there's a new grift. So he mentioned me and talking to John, and it indicates that I believe Michelle's a liar. Huh? I don't know what he's talking about there. But he was ranting. His advice to Michelle is go to the feds, fuck Levy County. They don't give a shit and won't help. He says these people will laugh at you all the way to the bank. He goes on to say that Lisa wants to be part of the bankruptcy, so you, Michelle, can't sue her. What? I want to be part. I got subpoenaed apparently. Isn't that correct? Isn't that what y'all are saying? That I was subpoenaed, that I was served. I want to be part of the bankruptcy. If I wanted to be part of the bankruptcy, I would have been at every creditor's meeting. And I wasn't. Why? Because I didn't feel the need to go. The only way I would go in there was to protect any of the assets that they would consider the fence to be for the property, or or the fact that I paid some of the taxes, that makes me a creditor too. So like I don't understand how I'm the one that wants to be when I didn't even go and to some of those hearings. Like I don't get where he's pulling this shit from. And I was subpoenaed, right? So if I'm subpoenaed, I'm supposed to say something, aren't I? Lisa does not want to be part of this bankruptcy. Lisa thinks this bankruptcy is nothing but a headache that Jerm has created. Jerm has papered the bankruptcy the same way he's papered every other case that he's had. Okay? Shock shady as fuck. And I hope to God that this judge sees what's going on. Lisa is Rich in the back room. Not yet. Either Tori, Lisa, or Helen, can you give my email? What I could do is set up a Google Drive and publish the address to the file. Okay, sure. Let's see. What you want? If somebody wants to filings, you can email me and I'll forward you over to Marla. I don't know if you want your email posted in the chat. What's up, Scampy girl? Nelcado, hello. Let's see. All right. So what else is going on here? He mentioned Michelle stopped the donations coming in with her comments in the past and talks about her asking for $5,000 for the camper. He claims only me stopped giving money when two leads couldn't show what the money was being spent on. That's absolutely not true. 1,000% not true. I can tell you exactly when only me stopped sending anything. It was in December. In December of that year. And the reason why is because, he sent a whole hell of a lot. Christmas was over. And he no longer sent anything. Actually, he did send memberships to the channel after that. But that was also after he began to attack me. Why? Because of Germ. Right? So that was in January of 2025. So I know my timeline. I know Tug doesn't. So basically he's saying that the donation stopped when Michelle came in with comments. Well, I don't know why you would think that this channel would continue to send in, any type of gift or anything when she's sitting there trashing the people who did, because that's exactly what she did. I'm not going to deny it. Everybody saw it. Everybody knew. So you're making up lies about all that stuff. But again, who's shocked? Another lie, another day, right? Hey, Rich, what's up?
Hello, hello, hello.
Welcome. Sorry, I'm kind of like out of it. I was sleeping. I was waiting for Robbie to end his live, and I got lost in the time. And so I'm like, what do you mean? But I filed objections today. 168 of them. And I just found out literally like a half an hour ago that they hit the docket. So I don't know. We can read them if you want.
That sounds good.
Are you ready to read? How are you doing?
Yeah, well, I want to stream this to my people too. I'm gonna put it on Substack. So hold on.
All right, so I'll just finish going over
as we speak. So what the hell's bankruptcy objections filed? That'll be a title. Rich.
So anyway, Tug
and Lisa Lee read the brand.
So Tug was saying, look who's here. Mr. Keze.
What up?
How you doing?
What up? I'm doing. I'm headed to the house now.
Oh,
hey,
okay.
Richard.
What's
up,
going
brother?
on, buddy?
Great video the other night.
That was great. Let's see. So I'm just gonna finish what Tug had to say. So anyway, he said Michelle will end up homeless with nothing. That's not true, and it's Julie's fault. You hear this shit?
Really, really good. What?
Okay, so here we
What
go.
is
No, Michelle, you're missing what is. You said shit about me, and in turn, that's why people are offended because they're the ones that helped me. So you're misunderstanding exactly what I meant by that. All right. So anyhow, but that is not going to happen. He says that. So they're saying that Michelle's going to end up homeless, and it's Julie's fault. He says to Michelle, they want you to blame Jeremy Hales. Well, Jeremy Hales is the reason for all of this. So there you go. Jeremy is to blame. That's the bottom line. None of this would be going
For
on.
everything.
Yeah. None of this would be going on if it wasn't for Jeremy Hales. So, so he suggested Michelle talk to the press, David Rickards, or himself. What Tug is doing is he's trying really badly to, well, we lost both of them. Hold on. He's trying really badly to get everybody to go against me in the channel and attack me, you know? Hold on, Robbie, you should be there. There you go. Robbie's back. We need Rich back.
Where's Rich?
Yeah, he just disappeared right before you.
Yeah, it was weird. Mine just went bloop.
Yeah. It says he's here, but it says device not connected. So I can't add him. I have to wait for him to pop back on.
He's got to refresh it.
Yeah. And what's funny is you got somebody like this person, Lavender Fox, posting this stuff like, you know, file this, write this out, like this like letter to the feds and stuff like that. And first of all, she doesn't even realize that it would have to be the beneficiary that would have to do something like that. So these people have no clue what they're talking about. Guys, just so you know, too, all these letters they're trying to incite to the feds and that these meetings they didn't have no meetings, okay? But trust me, there are those reports and claims against Jerm and all these people. So don't think that like nothing's going on with the authorities on this end of things. There absolutely is.
And you got a big surprise coming up, huh?
Oh, I do.
I do.
I think it's gonna be like tomorrow night. I might like kind of hint towards it. We'll see.
All right.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess we might be hinting towards it now, but I think tomorrow night might be a nice little surprise. Friday will be amazing, but you know, we'll see. Rich, where you at? Okay, so he's gone now, so he'll probably have to just, come back in. Yep, there he is. What's up, Rich? Now we have no sound.
Difficult. Can you hear me?
There you go. Yes,
Yeah,
I can hear you now.
All right, good. So I got everything going. I actually restarted my computer. I'm like, oh, you know what it was? I didn't realize you were going because you didn't go live last night. I was looking for you last night.
Yeah.
And you're live tonight. But Wednesdays I train jujitsu. So I started training jujitsu. So I was at my jujitsu class on Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
So I did my jujitsu, and then I had I went and got chicken sandwiches. And then then I came home, and so I'm kind of just relaxing now. And I'm like, I'm looking at you, and you emailed me. I'm like, you're like, I'm on the air. I'm like, what? You're on the air?
Yeah. Well, what happened was I was waiting for Robbie's live to be over, and he was talking to someone, and I had not set up my thumbnail. So I was like, oh, shoot. I'm like, okay, I'm running late, totally running late. And then I literally found out right before going live that my filings hit the docket. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. My voice is so scratchy right now. Read these.
Can you hear me now? Is my microphone better? It's in my microphone.
Yeah. We can hear you. When you first came on, when I first added you back, I could see you were talking and we couldn't hear anything, but you're good now.
Lisa, your filings hit the docket?
Oh, yes, they did. In the bankruptcy case, they sure did.
Oh,
yep.
that's
Yep.
Why don't you give everybody some background, Lisa, on what's going on?
Well, I was. So what happened was I was supposedly served a subpoena, and in this subpoena, they're requesting a copy of one of my the videos that Michelle was on, and they wanted a copy of it, which we all know they have a copy of because they recorded everything. And Germ tells everybody that he's got copies of all my videos, all my members only videos, and for people to email him and he'll send them over, the links and stuff to it, or wherever he's got them, a copy of them, whatever. But anyway, they're requesting, I guess, a formal copy of the original unedited video, and they want proof that I didn't pay Michelle to be on it. And in doing all of this, he's also requesting correspondence between me, Michelle, John, anybody having to do with any of this, the show, all this crap. And he's also, just so we make it very clear, he's gone back to the date of April 1st of 2026. That's all. He wants all correspondence till that time. What this dumb nuts don't realize is that April 1st, I was still in the Fed 2 case, okay, that I was dismissed from with prejudice.
With prejudice.
Okay, so he's trying to get information that he would have had, like, all my viewers, their information, any, type of, he's trying to get information.
No, sorry, you can't get
trying
that.
to get during that time that he's not entitled to at all.
This is
At
what's
all.
called, Lisa, this is what's called a fishing expedition.
Yeah.
That's really what this is. He's going on a fishing expedition. This case is it's a bankruptcy case, right?
Yeah.
So the that we're talking about have to be pertinent to the value of the bankruptcy estate, right? So whether or not, things they're asked, that's every question you ask, everything that he's asking for. Is there any relevance to the bankruptcy estate whatsoever when they're making the request? And the other part about it is you are not a party to the bankruptcy. So
Correct.
If Michelle, they want stuff about Michelle Preston and your communications, they have to go to Michelle Preston first because she's a party to the case.
Right.
Anybody that's a party to the case, anybody that's a creditor that's appeared in any way, they have to go to all those people first. So, it sounds to me like this is a very wayward application by Mr. Shockin, but he's a glorified hack dentist. That's basically all that guy is.
All right, let's see. I'm going to get this doc up here. I had 2 filings, actually. So this one here, this is correct. Yeah, it should be. We got this new Google tab thing here. Hold on. Let me get in here. Zoom it in.
The objections are the ones to start.
Yeah. Let's see. Is it big enough? Here, let me zoom in more. Too much.
Objection. I can't see it. I'm driving.
All right. So here we go.
You know what these are? You want to explain to everybody what these documents actually are?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so Lisa got purportedly hit with a subpoena. And so she filed 2 documents. One is objections to the subpoena itself, okay? And that usually is sent to the opposing attorney and to counsel and then, to the court afterwards as part of a motion. But I think Lisa sent it all over there along with the motion because Randy Shockin is just basically out of control. He's claiming things were served, things weren't served, that this is this, and you have to do that. So I think what she did was she just sent it all to the court and let the court figure it out. But this is what, this is her objections to these requests, the subpoena requests, and it's a subpoena ducis tecum, I believe. And that is the difference between a subpoena ducis tecum is a subpoena ad testificatum. But the testificatum sounds like testify. That's what that is. That would be a subpoena to testify. That's not what this is. So when they all run around and say, she's being subpoenaed, she's trying to dodge the subpoena, she's trying to do this. Lisa is not being asked to come to a court or to a law office or anywhere else to testify on this case. All she's being asked for is documents by Randy Shockin. So let's get that right away. out of the way. They're not going to sit her down. They're not.
Thank you for explaining that, because I wouldn't have done it that way. But go ahead.
They're not going to sit her down. They're not going to catch her in perjury. They're not going to get a perjury trap. They're not going to make her answer questions. None of that's happening right now, okay? Because that's not the nature of the subpoena. The nature of the subpoena is they want a bunch of material, documents and things, right? That's what they want. So that's what she's objecting to right here in the first instance. So you want me to start reading?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Rich, for doing this.
Non-party Lisa Lee's objections to subpoena to produce documents, information, or objects. Non-party Lisa Lee individually business as two leads in a pod, pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 45. That's the Federal Rule of Civil Procedure that governs non-party depositions, right? Made applicable by Federal Rule of Bankruptcy Procedure 1916. So we're in bankruptcy court. They have their own rules. Served these objections to the subpoena issued by attorney Randy Shockett on behalf of Senator Jeremy Hale. So Hales is in this case as a creditor. He's not in the case as bankruptcy is a very different type of proceeding than we saw in Fed 2. Fed 2 was plaintiffs versus the defendants, right? Jeremy Hale was the plaintiff. Elephant Shoe, his bullshit company, was a plaintiff, and then everybody else was a defendant. This is a bankruptcy case. So Michelle actually started, and people once all the bankruptcy are what's called the bankruptcy estate, right? And then they're governed by a trustee. A trustee gets appointed, and then there's all sorts of people that would get money out of the bankruptcy estate, right? And some of those people are creditors. Jeremy Hales came in as a creditor, so he's not a plaintiff in this case. He's actually a creditor, and his rights in the case are limited. But one of the things he can do is they can issue subpoenas to try to get information about the nature of the bankruptcy estate, how much cash and how much other stuff is owned by that estate, and how much, and that relates to how much money he could potentially get if he's a successful creditor. He's a bullshit creditor. That's the story, because everything he does is bullshit. But he's claiming that he's a creditor, and the court has to kind of, okay, fine, let's see what you got. All right, let's go back to reading. Lee specifically denies that the attempted delivery of papers to her husband, Gabriel Weeks, on July 30th, 2026, constituted valid service upon Lee. These objections are served protectively and without waiving that threshold defense. Lee's service of objections, appearance, preservation of information, participation in meet, confer, or filing of a motion to quash shall not be construed as consent to service, waiver of defective service, or acknowledgement that any compliance deadline began. So this is true, Lisa, right? Gabe got with this subpoena, right?
Well, no, it was left on the patio table.
So they didn't even get handed to him. It got left on the table.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. That's the big problem with the service of the subpoena. Okay. Preliminary statement. The subpoena is defective at the threshold because it was not delivered to the person named in it. The subpoena is directed to Lisa Lee, DBA 2 leads in a pod. On July 30th, process server Mark Newby did not hand the subpoena to Lisa Lee. Oh, look, they're not using G-Man anymore, Robbie. They're using Mark Newby. I guess G-Man doesn't want any part of this case. He left it on a patio table after telling Mr. Weeks that Lisa Lee told him to do so. This is false. Weeks was not Lee's attorney, registered agent, employee, business representative, litigation representative, or agent authorized to accept service of a federal subpoena. Newby did not ask Weeks his name before leaving the papers on the patio table. Newby did not ask Weeks whether he was authorized to accept service from Lee. Newby allegedly told me words to the effect that Lisa told me to leave the papers with you. That statement was false. Lee did not make any such arrangements with Newby, did not instruct him to leave the papers with Weeks, and did not authorize Weeks to accept service. Rule 45B1 provides that serving a subpoena requires delivering a copy to the named person. The subpoena was not delivered to the named person. Apart from defective service, the subpoena is facially overbroad, disproportionate, unduly burdensome, invasive of protected journalistic activity, and not reasonably tailored to an identified claim, defense, asset of the bankruptcy estate, or proper issue in a pending discovery proceeding. And that's what you said, that part right there, reasonably tailored, asset of the bankruptcy estate. Tell us what asset of the bankruptcy estate this is related to, Germ. Hale did not limit the subpoena to obtaining a copy of the publicly broadcast July 11, 2026 program featuring Detour. Instead, Hale demands months of private communications, internal editorial materials, financial and commercial information, platform records, metadata, promotional materials, and the identities of viewers, subscribers, and purchasers. The subpoena therefore targets Lee's journalism, news gathering, editorial process, audience relationships, and independent business operations. That's textbook fishing expedition.
Right.
Hales has previously pursued claims against Lee and other persons publishing commentary critical of him. That history material heightens the risk that compelled disclosure will be used for collateral litigation, public targeting, retaliation, identification of critics, or purposes unrelated to administration of the bankruptcy estate. The subpoena repeatedly calls the debtor a defendant, refers to an active deposition, and asserts that the debtor was under oath in the separate litigation-related proceedings. Nevertheless, the subpoena was captured and docketed in the main bankruptcy case. The subpoena does not identify whether it was issued A, as ordinary civil discovery in an adversary proceeding, B, in connection with a contested matter under Federal Rule of Bankruptcy Procedure 9014, C, pursuant to an order authorizing an examination under Federal Bankruptcy Rule Procedure 2004, D, pursuant to an order continuing a deposition, E, pursuant to some other discovery order, or F, merely through the filing of a notice in the main bankruptcy case. Hales has not identified the claim, defense, contested matter, pending motion, specific bankruptcy issues supporting each category demanded from this non-party. Lee is not a party to the bankruptcy case. Rule 45 requires the attorney responsible for issuing and serving subpoenas to take reasonable steps to avoid imposing undue burden or expense upon a non-party. That's what he's doing. He's trying to money whip right here.
Yeah.
The subpoena does the opposite. It demands broad searches across private devices, accounts, platforms, financial records, communication systems, and audience information without a subject matter limitation tied to a concrete disputed issue. Lee has preserved the existing July 11, 2026 broadcast. Lee will take reasonable steps to preserve potentially responsive information pending resolution of these objections and the accompanying motion. Preservation does not constitute an admission that any information is relevant, discoverable, authentic, admissible, within Lee's possession, custody, or control, or required to be produced. Lee objects to the subpoena in its entirety and to each request individually. No production will be made unless these objections are resolved by written agreement or court order. So you basically told them, go pound sand.
Right.
Threshold objections: a defective service. So this is the fact that he left it on the patio table, right?
Right.
So Lee objects because the subpoena was not served as required by Rule 45b1. The rule requires delivery to, quote, to the named person. The papers were left on a patio table and not handed to any person, the named person or otherwise. Rule 4.
He didn't even ask for me, by the way.
Yeah.
He didn't ask if I was there.
Rule 4 explicitly authorized abode service of a summons, but we know all this from all the service stuff. Busted, he's been served. But leaving it to a person of suitable age and discretion residing in the dwelling. Blue tape. That's Rule 4. Rule 45 contains no comparable abode service provision. The rules for serving a non-party subpoena in a federal case, this is a federal bankruptcy case, are different than the rules for serving process. Okay, that's another thing. This audience is a lot smarter than Germ's audience because they're going to think blue tape, and they're a bunch of morons. Okay.
Oh, yeah, you got to hear all the stuff that they've been saying about this service.
Okay. Weeks was not authorized to accept service for Lee. Newby did not establish Weeks' identity, status, or authority. Lee did not tell Newby to leave the subpoena with Weeks. Lee did not evade service and did not conceal himself in the process server. No court order authorized substitute service, meaning that the judge could always say, you can leave it with somebody of suitable age and discretion of the abode. You can give blue tape it all you want. There's something like that. The judge never said that. If the judge doesn't say it, you have to follow the rule as written. And the rule as written is Rule 45. That's a hint. No 14-day objection or compliance deadline began through delivery of Weeks. So there was no deadline. You usually have 14 days to file objections. Nothing got delivered, so the period started to run. So she just put these objections in. These objections nonetheless serve protectively to prevent any claim of waiver. So this is because Germ and Shaka are scumbags, and they'll probably say, "Oh, well, you knew about this, and you didn't file objections. You got to do this." Well, Lisa put everything in, so now they can't say there's anything there. It's all in front of the court now. Now there's only one person that Lisa has to talk to. It's not Germ, It's not Shockett, it's the judge. The judge is the one that's going to decide.
Right.
All right. Unclear procedural authority. Lee objects because the subpoena does not identify a proper procedural foundation for the discovery demanded. The subpoena references a defendant, an active deposition, a pending motion concerning continuation of that deposition, and alleged conduct occurring while debtor was under oath. And that sounds like it's a screw up on Shockett's part. And I'll tell everybody something. The issue is that when you don't practice an area of law regularly, there are very basic issues you have, like that you might miss. And Shockett's an insurance lawyer, and he doesn't do bankruptcy law, and there aren't any quote unquote defendants in bankruptcy law. The fact that he's referencing defendants, those subpoenas work in insurance cases and regular commercial litigation cases. They don't work in bankruptcy cases. It's a little bit different. There's debtors, there's creditors, there's different people in the estate. There are. It's not plaintiff and defendant. It's not petitioner. The bankruptcy petitioner is sometimes called the debtor, but there are different words for it. So it shows that he just doesn't know what he's doing.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Those allegations suggest the subpoena concerns an adversary proceeding or another discrete discovery proceeding rather than general administration of the bankruptcy estate. Go down a little more. There we go. 42. The subpoena, however, was docketed in the main bankruptcy case, does not state the adversary proceeding number, contested matter, Rule 2004 order, or discovery order pursuant to which it was issued. Lee cannot determine from the subpoena what pleadings define the permissible scope of discovery. That's important. Your discovery is defined by the proceeding that you're in, and the proceeding that you're in is defined by the pleadings. If it's a bankruptcy estate, then it's only about assets within the estate. If it's another kind of case, it's about what kind of case that is. Lee cannot determine which claim or defense supposedly makes private communications, financial information, internal editorial materials, or audience identities relevant. To the extent an adversary proceeding or contested matter is pending concerning the subject matter of the subpoena, discovery must be granted by the procedural rules applicable to that proceeding and confined to issues raised by the governing pleadings. A party may not use the broad investigatory scope of Rule 2004 as an end run around the more limited discovery rules applicable after an adversary proceeding or contested matter has commenced. Lee therefore objects unless and until Hales identifies the specific procedural authority, operative pleading, claim defense, and discovery order authorizing each demand. You gotta understand, Lisa is brand new to this bankruptcy case. She's walking around. So she got hit with a piece of paper, or a piece of paper was left on her patio, and it wasn't authorized to be there. It's kind of like litter. It's as the legal equivalent of litter. So even if they were to claim that she was served, she doesn't know anything about this case. So how could she actively respond to the case and intelligently respond to the subpoena as a party or as a non-party subpoena if she doesn't know what's going on? They bear the burden of saying that this is all relevant and giving her the materials. Yep. Lee therefore objects unless and until Hales identifies specific authority, operative claim, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Failure to establish relevance and proportionality. This is important. Relevance. You can't go on a fishing expedition. You need to go and you need to get stuff that's relevant. You got to show that it's relevant. Lee objects that the subpoena exceeds the permissible scope of Rule 26b1. The requests are not confined to non-privileged information relevant to an identified claim or defense and proportional to the needs of the proceeding. Hales has not shown how Lee's private communications, audience information, complete revenue records, platform statements, internal scripts, metadata, or editorial preparation bear upon the property of the estate, the debtor's assets or liabilities, the debtor's financial condition, administration of the estate, the debtor's right to discharge, an alleged false oath, an alleged undisclosed asset, an alleged transfer of value, a specifically identified statement made under oath, or any other kind of bankruptcy issue. And they have to show all this stuff. And the court's going to ask them about this. They're going to have to put this in their response. The subpoena appears to proceed from the assumption that because the debtor appeared on a broadcast, virtually every record concerning that broadcast, at least broader communications, is discoverable. That is not the proper application of Rules 26 and 40. It's bullshit. It's like, well, that person is in a bankruptcy case and they appeared on a live stream or television show or a radio show, then you can subpoena everything from that broadcast.
Right.
That's how it works, idiot. Non-party burden. And this is what I said about parties and non-parties. Lee objects because compliance would impose substantial burden and expense upon a non-party. Full compliance will require Lee to search and review email accounts, text messages, direct messages, social media accounts, encrypted messaging applications, personal devices, cloud storage accounts, video files, platform dashboards, payment receipts, subscriber records, promotional materials, unpublished drafts, internal editorial materials, and potentially inaccessible or deleted information.
Yep.
Compliance would also require review for privilege, journalistic protection, confidentiality, privacy, commercial sensitivity, third-party information, and responsiveness. So you have a bunch of evidentiary privileges here. One is because you're a content creator and a member of the media, you have some form of journalistic privilege. That's number one. Number two, because you're engaged in commerce here, you might have trade secrets, right? You might have other things that are central, that are protectable as well. So they might be things, that are privileged information. Okay, Lee may be required to retain counsel or technical assistance to avoid disclosure of protected information. You don't even know what your protected information may be because you don't even know what their actual request is. The request is
Right.
Hales has not offered to bear those expenses, right? Hales actually has told you that you have to bear his expenses. That's what Randy Shaw said the other day. He wants you to pay for them bringing motions to the court. Yep. Hales has not attempted to obtain the same information first from the debtor, right? Go to Michelle. Ask his own recordings, the public internet, YouTube, payment processes, or other more convenient sources. Why go to Lisa Lee for the video when he could go and subpoena YouTube? Right?
Yep.
Journalists, and I think actually a subpoena from YouTube is better evidentiary value than a video from Lisa Lee, right?
Exactly.
YouTube produces these things all day. They can certify to it, and I think a certification from YouTube has no dog in this fight whatsoever. Is a lot of better evidence or best evidence compared to something from somebody else. Journalist privilege and news gathering protection. Lee hosts and produces Two Lees in a Pod, a program addressing litigation, public controversies, court proceedings, and matters of public concern. This is true, right, Lisa? You have a show. We're on it right now. These are the selections of guests, preparation for interviews, collection of information, communication with sources, editorial deliberations, unpublished notes, scripts, drafts, research, and decision about what to publish constitute journalistic and news gathering activity. So, Lisa, when you have a show, you prepare for your show, right? You got to figure out what you're going to talk about, who you're going to talk to. Do you talk to people sometimes to get information from them when you want to talk about a topic? And you talk to people that will talk to you, but they don't want to be mentioned on there. They're confidential sources.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's what's called news gathering, right?
Yep.
News gathering is part of journalism. There's 3 parts of journalism.
I wonder if Megan knows that. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Megan's got her breadstick-sized, dildo. That's what she's got. Anyway,
maybe we should talk to Jason.
Hey, hip? Yeah, right.
No, actually, Jason Fox.
I don't want to think about what happens between those two people, please. So there's 3 parts of journalism, so everybody can know this. The first part of journalism is news gathering, right? The second part is verification. So you're going to collect all this information. The second part is you got to find out if it's true, right? And then the third part of it is dissemination or broadcast in this situation. Publishing if it's written, broadcast if it's a broadcast like this. And it sounds like you're engaged in all 3 of those activities. So you're engaged in journalism. That's what it sounds like to me. All right. The 11th Circuit recognizes a qualified privilege protecting professional news gathering efforts from compelled disclosure, right? And so you're a monetized, store and everything else on a channel, correct?
Correct.
So you could say that this is part of your profession. Your content creation is a professional activity.
Correct.
Okay. The privilege is not limited to traditional print newspapers and does not disappear merely because the journal is published through an internet or video platform. Hales has not demonstrated that the unpublished information demanded is highly relevant, necessary to the proper presentation of a defined claim, and unavailable from alternative sources. That's the big one that's going to kill him. Unavailable from alternative sources. Like the answer here is, Judge, Have them go to YouTube for it. Request number 2 and 4 directly invade Lee's editorial process, unpublished news gathering material. Request 5 engage relationship with viewers, subscribers, supporters, members of the audience. Lee invokes the federal journalist privilege, the First Amendment, and all analogous protections applicable to the unpublished journalistic material and source-related information. Anonymous speech, receipt of information, and additional privacy. Lee objects to compelled disclosure of viewer, subscriber, purchaser, donor, member, supporter, commenter, and audience names. So, Lisa, you're not giving it up, right? You're not a rat. That's just what it comes down to. You're protecting the audience. Everybody that's on here that wants to be here, Lee's not going to be a rat. Good for her. The First Amendment protects not only the right to speak, but also the right to receive information and to associate for expressive purposes. So the First Amendment's happening in this broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, and it's not just happening by Lisa or me or Robbie speaking. It's happening by you receiving the information. That's your First Amendment right. And it's also the ability to associate. There's an association clause under the First Amendment. So everybody that's here has a right to get together and associate and discuss issues that we want to discuss, listen to things that we want to listen to. We have a chat here. People can express themselves in the chat. This is the heightened, or this is the highest value of First Amendment protected activity. We're on our own little public square. We're talking and we're in the marketplace of ideas. Yep. So compelling disclosure of the identities of people who watched, purchased, supported, or subscribed to a program concerning ongoing litigation would chill lawful expressive activity. They want to shut down the marketplace of ideas. That's what Jeremy Hales wants to do. The chilling risk is concrete because Hales has previously engaged in litigation against Lee and other critics. That's true, that too. The subpoena contains no restriction preventing Hales from A, contacting viewers, B, naming viewers publicly, C, publishing identifying information, D, using the information in live streams or social media content, E, commencing collateral litigation, F, issuing additional subpoenas, G, contacting employers or family members. Well, you know, they're doing that already, right? Yeah. And H, otherwise targeting members of Lee's audience. And that's what they do. They target people. They're very, very scummy people, right? This is scummy people. All right. So, viewer identities are unnecessary to determine whether the debtor received compensation. Any legitimate inquiry concerning revenue can be answered through aggregate, anonymized figures, and sworn declaration concerning what the debtor was paid. Request number 5 is therefore irrelevant, disproportionate, and constitutionally intrusive.
Yep.
Confidential commercial and financial information. Lee objects to disclosure of confidential commercial information, including gross revenue, platform statements, transaction log, customer level information, pricing information, payment arrangements, account identifiers, platform fees, subscriber records, purchaser identities, business methods, and marketing strategy. Those are a lot of that's trade secrets. Lee's revenue is not property of the debtor's estate. Whether Lee earned money from a broadcast is distinct from whether Lee paid or promised anything to the debtor. Hales has not shown a need for complete financial statements or customer level data, right? So if the question is, did Lisa Lee pay, which is not a crime, to pay Michelle to appear, an appearance fee? It happens all the time in media. It may or may not have happened, right? That's different than everything. That's a single solitary question that could have been asked. Right. But the fact is, they're asking for all sorts of financial information, which is outside of the scope. Okay, the subpoena contains no protective order, attorney's eyes only provision, redaction protocol, clawback procedure, use limitation, or prohibition against public disclosure. So anything that you hand over, Lisa, could be read on What the Hales tomorrow, or read by other members of the ecosystem. Could be shared, disseminated, anything else. So.
Yep.
Information available from other sources. This is big, too. Lee objects because much of the demanded information is available from more convenient and less burdensome sources. The public broadcasts and promotional materials are transmitted over public platforms. Hales or his representatives allegedly watched or monitored the program and referred to its contents in the filed notice. That's true. Relevant communications with the debtor can first be sought from the debtor. Any statement made by the debtor during the public broadcast can be identified from the public recording. If Hales contends that the debtor received compensation, he can seek that information from the debtor and from records concerning her finances. Hales has not shown that burdensome non-party discovery is necessary because those sources are unavailable or inadequate. Next is vagueness and ambiguity. Lee objects to undefined or unreasonably vague terms. Now, this is where it gets, this is great. This shows how shitty of a lawyer these people are. They're so stupid. Anyone acting on defendant's behalf. What does that mean? Everything discussed, aftermath, all metadata, third party on defendant's behalf. What does that even mean? Third party on defendant's behalf. Platform, that could be just about anything. Archived, deleted, preserved, complete, unaltered, unedited. These terms lack objective boundaries and would require Lee to guess at Hale's intended scope. The phrase everything discussed would transform every topic mentioned during a broadcast into a justification for searching months of private communications. Think about that. That's crazy. Yeah. The phrase aftermath has no ending date, and it could encompass every later message, post, publication, reaction, or discussion. Temporal overbreath. We object to the demand for communications from April 1st, 2026 to the present. The broadcast allegedly occurred on July 11th, 2026. Hales does not explain why communications beginning more than 3 months earlier are relevant. The subpoena contains no event-based limitation, participation limitation, subject limitation, or relationship to a specific alleged bankruptcy violation. Possessing custody and control. Lee objects to producing information not within her possession, custody, or control. Lee may not possess, control, export, retrieve, or authenticate platform-created logs. Rule 45 does not require Lee to acquire documents from third-party platform merely because the platform once displayed information associated with her account. Lee objects to any demand requiring to obtain new records from YouTube, Google, a payment processor, a hosting provider, or any third party. He's got to go get it. You know, he's the creditor. He's got to go get it. He's the party.
Right. Exactly.
Inaccessible ESI in forensic crime. ESI is electronically stored information, right? Lee objects to recovering deleted, overwritten, archived, inaccessible, or platform-level information. Lee objects to forensic imaging of devices, extraction of hidden metadata, restoration of deleted files, recovery from backup systems, and use of specialized technical processes. Lee identifies this information to the extent it exists and not reasonably accessible because of burden or cost. Lee will not undertake forensic recovery absent a specific court order, entered after a showing of a good course, and allocation of all resulting expenses. So if they want you to go get something, you don't have to pay for it, and they're not even telling you what you need to get.
Exactly.
Okay. No obligation to create documents. Lee objects to any request requiring creation of a new compilation, a transaction summary, a customer list, a spreadsheet, a revenue report, a metadata report, a forensic image, a narrative response. Keep going.
I'm laughing because I'm reading the chat and these guys are idiots. You know, Richard wrote this.
An authentication statement or any document not already existing in the order of business. Listen, I'm paint chips. I'm so stupid that I must have eaten lead paint chips. That's what comes out of Jeremy Hale's mouth. Why would Lisa Lee want me to write this for her if I'm not stupid and I have brain damage?
It's called taking the paperwork, putting it into a program, making it read it. I mean, and outputting why it's wrong. There you go.
And there's a lot of output when they ask why it's wrong from Jeremy Hales or Andy Shocker.
Yes.
A lot of pages with why it's wrong.
Sorry, Don B. Go back to your little minions over there. Good.
Don, I'm just a little paint chip. I'm a paint chip eater over here. I am. I'm just a paint chip eating retard. How can I do this stuff? You know? Come on.
Oh, Peculiar Optics is back.
Yes, but you are Sir Paint Chips.
I'm Sir Paint. And that's what I'm going to change my name. Let me change my name to Sir Paint Chips.
Polymop is P-O, baby. That's awesome. No, this was long. I was quite shocked at all these reasons. It was great, and I'm thinking, oh my god. And they're thinking it's because you. Keep reading, Rich.
Sir Paint Chips. I'm not rich today. I'm Sir Paint Chips.
Sir Paint Chips. Sir Paint Chips.
I may have my brain damaged eating my paint chips earlier today. So, I went into my retard hole for a while. Now I've emerged. Privacy and personally identifying information. Lee objects to disclosure of usernames, email addresses, telephone numbers, physical addresses, IP addresses, payment card data, financial account information, transaction identifiers, account identifiers, personal messages, and other identifying information belonging to non-parties. So, like, Jeremy Hale's asking for the credit card numbers of anybody that ever gave a super chat or anything on your channel. That's what he's asking for. He can try to rob people. I don't trust Jeremy Hales. You know, you're going to give him credit card numbers? Come on.
Right.
Those persons have not received notice and have no meaningful opportunity to protect their own privacy. That's right. For disclosure would expose them to risks unrelated to any legitimate bankruptcy purpose, privilege, and other protections. Lee objects to producing information protected by attorney-client privilege, work product protection, common interest protection, journalist privilege, source confidentiality, First Amendment protections, privacy rights, contractual confidentiality, commercial confidentiality, and any other privilege or protection, applicable privilege or protection. So, you know, the laundry list there. He hasn't told you why he needs it. You don't know what privileges may or may not apply. Exactly. We will provide an appropriate privilege description only if a validly served and judicially enforceable request remains after the threshold objections are resolved. So basically, you said, Lisa, if the judge thinks there's anything left here, then you'll do your privilege analysis.
Right.
Improper threats concerning spoliation. Ooh, spoliation evidences. That's a big one. That's a $5 word.
They love talking about spoliation.
Spoil. So spoilage, when evidence gets spoiled, meaning that evidence gets lost or becomes unavailable. Lee objects to the assertion in Hale's notice that any attempt by Lee to delete, alter, or make the broadcast private, quote, will be treated as spoliation and may subject to, quote, independent legal sanctions, right. Pay contempt, pay my fees. Hales and his attorney cannot unilaterally adjudicate spoliation. They think they can, but they can't. They cannot create a preservation obligation broader than governing law or a court order. They cannot predetermine sanctions, even though they try to. Lee has preserved the existing broadcast without accepting the legal conclusions or accusations contained in the notice. You have a copy of the broadcast, but so does YouTube. So whatever. Yep. Personal appearance not required. Lee objects to any implication she must personally appear at Shockett Law Group. And this is very important, everybody, when they start saying, she's got to be subpoenaed and she's dodging them. The subpoena commands only production of documents and information. That's it. Rule 45 provides that a person commanded to produce documents need not appear personally unless also commanded to attend a deposition, hearing, or trial. The proper place and method of production. Lee objects to requiring physical production at counsel's office where electronic production, if ordered, would be less burdensome. That's like, why can't I just email this shit? If the judge says you need to send this over, why can't you just email? Ms. Lee, send a copy of the broadcast if you have it in your possession. Okay, you can do that? Yes. Okay, email it over. That's it. Done.
He supposedly already has it.
I know. These people are morons. Lee further objects to any interpretation requiring surrender of original devices, passwords, account credentials, original files, or access to account. He's like saying, oh, with the computer that's on, we want the original device, we need the password. Get the fuck out of here. So, any ordered production should occur electronically through a secure method with Lee retaining originals. There you go. No adequate protective safeguards. The subpoena seeks confidential, private, journalistic, and commercially sensitive information without any protective safeguards. Any compelled protection require at a minimum use solely in the identified bankruptcy proceeding, no use in collateral litigation without further court order, no public dissemination, no publication through live stream, social media, websites, or other media, redaction of personal identifiers, protection of viewer and subscriber identities, attorney's eyes only treatment for financial information, a clawback procedure, destruction or return at the conclusion of the proceedings, and allocation of compliance expenses to Hales. So Jerm's got to pay for it.
Yep.
And so here's the specific objections. Okay, these are his requests. Request 1 demands a true, correct, and unedited and altered copy of the entire broadcast, including portions allegedly edited out, deleted, or archived. So this is all your objections.
It's supposed to be it's there. It's also copyrighted with the government, so it's listed there too.
We incorporate proceeding objections. Objects because the request is cumulative and duplicative to the extent the public broadcast was viewed, downloaded, recorded, quoted, or otherwise obtained by Hales and his representatives. He already has it. The notice demonstrates Hales already possessed detailed information about the broadcast, including date, participant, subject matter, alleged access, price, and later public availability. Lee objects to the presumptively and accusatory language suggesting that responsive material was edited, altered, deleted, or concealed. Lee objects to the extent the request seeks private pre-broadcast discussions, technical tests, unpublished preparation, unused footage, raw technical files, internal production materials, post-broadcast conversations, account credentials, device images, hidden metadata, deleted files, or forensic recovery. Lee has preserved the existing copy of the public July 11th broadcast within her possession or control without conceding valid service, relevance, admissibility, authenticity. Lee is willing to meet and confer concerning production of one of the reasonably usable electronic of the public broadcast if Hales explains why the publicly available and publicly obtained copy is insufficient. Production is limited to the program as broadcast. No unpublished journalistic or editorial material is included. Production occurs electronically. Production does not require personal appearance. Production does not waive any privilege or objection. Hales does not agree to use the production outside this bankruptcy proceeding, and Hales bears any material, technical, or transfer expense. You got to pay for it.
Yep.
Number 2, the request demands all communications between Lee and the debtor, anyone acting on the debtor's behalf, including John M. Cook, from April 1st, 2026 to the present, concerning the content, planning, scheduling, promotion, and aftermath of the broadcast. What is this aftermath? The aftermath. He incorporates every preceding objection. Lee objects because this request is grossly overbroad, vague, disproportionate, unduly burdensome, and invasive of protected journalistic activity. The request lacks a reasonable subject matter boundary. That's right. You want the aftermath. Everything's the aftermath. Today's the aftermath. It's been the aftermath every day since. The phrase everything discussed attempts to make a subject matter mentioned during the broadcast a basis for disclosure of private communications. The term aftermath has no objective limit. It's true. The phrase anyone acting on the defendant's behalf requires Lee to speculate about agency, authority, intent, and legal relationships. That's true. You don't know who's acting on somebody's behalf, right, Lisa?
Yeah.
You somebody walking around, you don't know if they're acting on somebody else's
All those
behalf.
whining crybabies out there.
What are you, a mind reader? You know, it's crazy. So the request improperly encompasses source communications, interview preparation, editorial discussions, unpublished information, personal communications, communications concerning unrelated litigation, communications about Hales, communications with other journalists, communications with attorneys, communications with viewers, communications about future reporting, internal deliberations. The request is not limited to communications showing payment to the debtor. This is all stuff about the bankruptcy estate.
Yeah.
Promise of payment, concealment of an estate asset, transfer of estate property, coordination of allegedly false testimony, a specific inconsistent statement, or another identified bankruptcy issue. Has nothing to do with bankruptcy. Hales can't tell us anything. Hales can seek relevant communications from the debtor before burdening Lee. That's true. The debtor is a participant in communications to which she was a party. This is true. Lee invokes the journalist's privilege and First Amendment protections. Lee will not produce documents responsive to requests to absent substantial narrowing and a court order entered after application of the qualified privilege. At most, any permissible inquiry should be limited to non-privileged communications directly showing whether Lee promised, paid, or transferred compensation to the debtor for the July 11th broadcast. That's it. That's the only thing that they can ask for in the estate. The only reason, you know, did you pay an appearance fee? Yes or no? You know, and then they should really go to Michelle Preston and ask her, Michelle, did you receive an appearance fee for your appearance?
Yeah, and she's already said no.
So she says no. Then he could go back and say, well, we want to ask Lisa Lee, did she get an appearance? And if Lisa Lee says no, then there's no issue. The issue's over. It's done.
Right.
Request for financial records and revenue. Request number 3 demands all documents, receipts, transaction logs, platform statements showing total revenue, the number and identities of purchasers, and any alleged revenue split or transfer along the debtor or a third party.
Yeah, that's like bullshit to me, because it's like you're talking about one video, but you want all this information. I'm total like, you know, yeah, no.
The presupposition is that you're in business with Michelle Preston by virtue of her appearance on your show.
Yeah,
that's the crazy part about this. Like, she's getting a piece of the action because she showed up on the show.
Is she getting a piece of the action because Jeremy's using her to make millions of dollars for the past 4 years?
There you go.
Not a dime.
That's a good lawsuit. Maybe she should sue him for that.
I would say so.
Lee incorporates every preceding objection, objects to the request to use confidential commercial financial information belonging to a non-party. Lee's gross revenue is not property of the debtor's estate. That's true. The amount earned by Lee is not equivalent to an amount paid to the debtor. That's true. If you earn money, Lee, so based on your broadcast, that's not an amount paid to the debtor. It's totally two different things.
Yeah.
Hales does not establish the debtor possessed any ownership interest in two Lees in a pod, the broadcast, or its revenue. Hales does not establish that Lee promised or paid compensation to the debtor. The demand for records involving third party on the defendant's behalf is vague and speculative. The request would expose customer identities, payment information, platform fees, account information, unrelated transactions, pricing strategy, confidential business practices, and commercially sensitive records. Right? Trade secrets.
Yep.
Lee objects to producing complete platform statements, customer level records, account statements, tax information, and unrelated business records. Without conceding valid service or discoverability, Lee is willing to meet and confer regarding a narrowly tailored declaration stating whether Lee promised to pay the debtor for appearing, whether Lee paid the debtor money or transferred anything of value in connection with the broadcast, and whether Lee knowingly paid an identified person in the debtor's direction in connection with the broadcast.
Yep.
Any further financial production should require a particularized showing of need, redaction, attorney's eyes only protection, prohibition against collateral use, and payment of Lee's compliance expenses. Germany's going to have to pay. Request 4, promotional materials, scripts, and metadata. Request 4 demands all scripts, promotional images, text descriptions, metadata, and marketing materials used to advertise the broadcast. Lee incorporates every preceding objection. Lee objects because the request is vague, cumulative, overboard, and disproportionate. Public promotional materials are equally available from the public platforms in which they appeared. So you're saying you marketed this thing, go find some place that you marketed it. Go get it yourself.
Right.
Hales does not explain why public copies are inadequate. The demand for scripts improperly reaches unpublished notes, talking points, research, draft questions, source information, editorial preparation, internal communications, and unused material. Such information falls within Lee's protected journalistic and editorial process. The demand for, quote, metadata does not identify the metadata field sought, the platform involved, required production format, the relevance of any metadata field, whether visible information is insufficient, or whether forensic extraction is demanded. Lee will not perform forensic extraction or create a metadata report. You have no obligation to do so.
Right.
Without conceding valid service, Lee is willing to identify public URLs or provide copies of final promotional materials actually published to the general public and reasonably accessible to her, provided Hales withdraws the demand for scripts, unpublished drafts, and internal materials and undefined metadata. Request 5, viewer and subscriber access logs. Request 5 demands all logs showing the usernames or identities of subscribers or persons who purchased access to the broadcast. Lee incorporates every preceding objection. They want all the viewers, the viewer list.
Yep.
Lee objects to request 4 in its entirety. Viewer and subscriber identities are irrelevant to any identified bankruptcy claim, defense, asset, liability, or administrative issue. The identities of people who watched or supported the program do not establish whether the debtor was paid. The request violates the privacy and expressive interests of non-parties. Compelled disclosure would chill people from watching, supporting, commenting upon, or participating in journalism concerning Hales and related litigation. That concern is heightened by Hales' litigation history involving Lee and other critics. Said too, right?
Yep.
The subpoena contains no safeguard preventing Hales from contacting, identifying, publishing information about suing, threatening, or otherwise targeting viewers. Aggregate revenue information. Aggregate revenue information, if relevant, can be supplied without disclosing individual identities. Lee may not possess or control platform-level logs. Lee objects to obtaining information from the platform, performing a special export, restoring deleted data, or creating a customer list. Lee will not disclose viewer, subscriber, purchaser, donor, member, supporter, or commenter identities absent a court order, entered after application of First Amendment protections, and notice sufficient to protect affected persons. Anybody whose name might potentially come up has to get a notice. It has to be noticed and an opportunity to be heard. That's the basis for American justice. You can't just go in and get this stuff. This isn't Soviet Russia. If the court finds some financial information relevant, any production should be limited to aggregate and anonymized figures. Anonymized, meaning that, we're not going to have the actual people's names, so Jeremy can't harass them.
Right.
With all identities, usernames, email addresses, account information, and transaction identifiers removed. That's it. We got to protect the people. Proposed narrowing. Lee requests that Hales withdraw the subpoena. Alternatively, Lee proposed limiting the production to one electronic copy of the July 11th program as publicly broadcast if Hales demonstrates that he does not already possess an adequate copy.
As we know, as he bragged about it.
And a sworn statement limited to whether debtor was promised or paid compensation in connection with the broadcast. That's it. Those are the only two things.
Yeah.
A copy of the electronic broadcast and a statement that says, whether the debtor was paid. That's it. Lee requests complete withdrawal of requests 2 and 5. Lee requests the portions of request 3 and 4 seeking complete financial records, customer information, unpublished journalistic materials, internal editorial information, scripts, drafts, and metadata. Right. So that's a withdrawal. Preservation and non-waiver. Lee has reserved the existing July 11 broadcast. Will take reasonable steps to preserve potential responsive information pending judicial resolution. Lee does not agree that each category identified in the subpoena is relevant, discoverable, within her possession, custody, or control, or subject to a continuing preservation obligation. Nothing in these objections waives any challenge based on defective service, jurisdiction, procedural irregularity, relevance, proportionality, privilege, journalist privilege, First Amendment protection, privacy, confidentiality, burden, expense, possession, custody, or control, admissibility, authentication, or any other applicable ground. Any inadvertent disclosure of the privileged material shall not constitute waiver. Lee reserves the right to demand return, sequestration, or destruction of inadvertently produced information. Lee requests that Hales and his counsel conduct a meaningful meet and confer before filing any motion to compel. There you go. August 16th. We filed it the other day.
Yep. I also filed a motion to quash.
You do. This objection is pretty hardcore. I like these objections.
Yeah.
Rob, live, what's going on?
Dude.
Like, so much shit in here.
This is awesome.
I'm telling you. That program just spits stuff out. I mean, you throw it, you add a question, you throw in more, it gives you more. I'm like, wow. I'm like, there is how many? What was there? 100? Originally, there was 168, I think, and then now it's already down to 185. I'm like, have fun with that, Shaka.
Yeah. And about this is this. He bills probably Jeremy by the pound. How much the papers weigh? He's going to put in 20 pages and he's going to bill the shit out of Jeremy. So what this is going to do, he's going to have to respond to the objections. First, Shaka's going to have to read it, or Doreen, or whoever has to figure out what's going on. Yeah. Then they got to formulate a reply and spend that time, and then they're going to build the germ for it. So they have to do the objections first. Then I think you said you filed a motion. They have to respond to the motion too. Yeah.
I didn't see any motion from him. Basically, what happened was I emailed him about not being served, and he came back. He read it more than once, and then he came back a day or so ago with this whole, you are commanded, you have 48 hours to do this. I said, you know what? I'm not even going to deal with your shady ass. I'm not going to go back and forth with you with email. I'm just going to send this right to the court. Okay. So I'm like, here you go. Boom. sorry, you know, like I wasn't fucking sure in the first place.
You also, I think you said you sent it to everybody else in the case, right? The bankruptcy trustees and everybody.
I sent it to the trustees council. There's another attorney there, Dennis Levine. I sent it to him. I sent it to Jerome, Michelle's lawyer, and yeah. Yep.
You know what's going to happen? The trustee's going to read it. The trustee's lawyer's going to read it and be like, "Yeah, you know, this woman's right. You know, all you really get is the video potentially and a statement, but you might not even get that."
All they're going to care about, if you know, because they brought it to the attention, all they're going to care about was, all right, well, did she get paid or not? You know what I mean? Like, did somebody pay her? And I'm like, yeah, well, Michelle did not get paid, and even if she. What could she have possibly gotten paid? You know what I mean? Like, what do you think this is? Like, is it relevant to this case at all? No. But there was no payment whatsoever. I don't pay anybody to come on the channel. No one. Never have. You know? Yeah. So I'm just like, this is like absolutely ridiculous. And Shaka was just such an asshole. I'm like, you know what? Fine. Here we go. I'm going to file this because I was, you know, I know that the subpoena was left on my table, but it wasn't served to me. I was not validly served, you know? So I'm like, all right, well, you know, we're going to end up having to answer this probably. You
And
know?
subpoena is an invalid subpoena. You can't like properly answer a subpoena that's so broad and you don't know what the hell you're trying to get. You know, the third parties acting on defendant's behalf. First of all, this is a bankruptcy case. It would be the debtor. It's not a defendant. Third parties acting on the defendant's behalf, and you're trying to guess who's acting on whose behalf. You're trying to like think that you're a mind reader. You can't make you a mind reader.
It's like, why aren't you going to Michelle? And if you're so concerned about this, why aren't you going to Michelle? They're trying to bring me in. So my thing is, okay, fine. You want to bring me in here? All right. You subpoenaed me. How about I subpoena you? Because I think the bankruptcy court would like to know how much money you have profited off of Michelle in the course of 4 years. Of every video that you've ever mentioned her name, her family, her child, and tried to ruin her life. Yet you're sitting in this bankruptcy court claiming that she owes you money. And you've made millions off of her. Yeah. Let's subpoena you. Because I'm a creditor and you're subpoenaing me. You're a creditor. Why can't I subpoena you? You're a non-party just as much as I'm a non-party. Let's do the same to you.
No, we'll see. This is just it's a shit show.
It's total shit show.
An ill-conceived situation. And what it does, I think, if Michelle has an opportunity now to potentially file a motion herself with the bankruptcy court, saying that this entire application, minus the two pieces about the video,
Lisa, you never filed paperwork to be a creditor, right?
Nope.
So, Richard, how can they even bring her into this?
You can always subpoena people. You can always try to subpoena people that have used the power of the court to subpoena people that have relevant evidence. But I'm thinking I'm thinking Michelle has a claim here, Robbie. And the claim that Michelle has is Randy Shockett and Jeremy Hales are trying to raise the cost of the administration of the bankruptcy estate by filing frivolous materials. Therefore, they should be obligated to recoup the fees to the bankruptcy trustee and his attorneys for reviewing this motion.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he's trying to. What did he say in his last email? He was going to file for sanctions against me, and that because I missed a deadline or whatever. I wouldn't miss nothing if I wasn't served, jackass. You know, I'm not listening to your bullshit. Here you go. I'm not even going to wait for you to freaking file an affidavit from some jackass lying about being served. Nothing. Boom. There you go. That's it. You know, I actually waited long enough after knowing this. You know what I mean? I was trying to be served, but nobody's tried to serve me since. He knows it wasn't a valid service, and he hasn't tried to serve me again. You know, so I'm like, whatever. But
we're going to claim it was valid service, just like the G-Man and just like with the other bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but this is a solid, work. This is good material.
Yeah. So I was just like, you got to be kidding me with this. And then, so I also filed the motion to quash. I don't know if you want to go over that. You want to go over that?
We can do that in a second. Let me get up and get myself.
Are you ready to read more, Rich?
I'll read the other one. Shit, I'll read the whole thing. I don't get too into this. So let me get up and get a drink. Jerry, give me like 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
All right, I hear you.
This
Ladies
is
are
crazy.
calling my name, huh?
This is crazy.
It's absolutely insane what they're trying to do. But, hey, whatever. We'll use the law. You know what I mean? The law is the law. And, as long as you got a judge that knows the law, and if not, hey, you appeal it, whatever. But the thing is Shockett doesn't seem to know the law. Shockett is a paper pusher. That's it. And he tries to threaten people. He tries to scare people. And I'm not threatened by him. I'm not scared of him. He tried to scare me with his email. I command you to, hand over this information within 48 hours. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm like, let me just sign this document here. Went down to the post office and said, here, send this to the bankruptcy court. I was like, I'm done. I'm not listening to this jackass.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's also sad to see peeps that you used to call friends being buddy-buddy with the aunties. Starbucks! What's happening? Hey,
What's up,
G-Sky!
Starbucks?
Oh, Randall, I command you to shut up. That's funny. Who are they talking about? Oh, they're talking about Gabe in the chat. 3 strikes, you're out. You hear this shit? These people are fucking morons.
Florida's not a 3-strike state.
No, but even if they
Nobody is anymore.
talking about.
There's no.
They have no idea what they're even talking about.
What do you mean 3 strikes? What
I
do you-
know. They have no idea what they're talking about. Please, you get my email concerning the button? I did, G-Sky. I received it. You know, it's so funny. Like all these minions in the chats, like they're all trying to impress each other. I saw that comment. You're right. Let me see. And Peculiar sister and such because I have more intelligent conversations with others. Really? Then why are you in the fucking chat then? Okay? These idiots. What kind of intelligence you think you're gonna find there? Peculiar. Awesome, Todd. Did you like it? Gabe's in jail, but all Lisa can do is laugh. Yeah, okay. What are you so concerned about my husband being in jail for, Jared? Flippa. What are you so concerned about my husband being in jail for?
Of course he's going to be in jail.
Oh.
He's a VOP.
Oh, he's such a bad boy, isn't he? I like bad boys. What can I tell you? Give me a break. Doesn't Kathy Criswell talk shit about Gabe smoking? Kathy Criswell smokes herself, doesn't she? He is a criminal. Your leader is a criminal, Peculiar. Why don't you ask him what he's hiding? Ask him what he's hiding. I wonder if Peculiar's ever done a line of coke. Just wondering. You got burglary. You have how many protection orders has there been against Durham? Let's see. How many?
That stuff's not even the worst. The worst stuff is the stuff that he did to his own kids. That's the worst.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Let's see. Paperwork, physical, mental, emotional abuse. You know, my husband has no protection orders against him. It was 5-hour energy. Really? Was that a defense? I don't think that was a defense in my husband's case. You do have a leader, Peculiar. Absolutely do. You're a part of the cult. Are you reading Rich's chat? Yes, that's what I'm reading. What's up, Miss Lori? Deflection. What am I deflecting? Tell me what I'm deflecting. Oh, you're saying he didn't do a line, Don? Are you sure? Do you know what he did? I'd like for you guys to tell me what he did. Yeah, you do, Peculiar. You've had one all along. Shut up. Let's see. I went here too. Oh, now you believe me, Don? You believe me he didn't do a line of coke? You should pick and choose what the fuck you're talking about. He didn't do a line. But, I'm just wondering why you're making statements that I said and acting as if they're true when you're saying I'm a liar. They're so hypocritical.
Where are you reading all this?
I'm reading it in Rich's chat.
Oh.
Yeah, it pops up in stream.
I'm like, what is she saying?
I think they secretly miss you. Strictly, I agree. I think they do because they can't talk in my chat. Rich, you have all the minions in your chat.
Strictly's in there. Hola, Strictly.
Aussie Tina's got some big balls, don't she? She talks so much shit everywhere else, but she never did in the chat. She was so nice to everybody in our chat, huh? So was Dawn. The only person who was sarcastic, I have to say, and probably showing her ass this whole time.
Where's Dot? Oh, he's in Richard's chat.
What's up, Bearded? And we wouldn't
My
talk
God.
about it if people weren't bringing it up.
Make sure your house is painted.
We weren't bringing it up. Hold on, Don B. We bring shit up. Are you joking right now? Every night you have a tug, a mug with all these fucking idiots over there. You got everyone in the morning talking about shit, and you're trying to say, I brought it up. Are you joking right now? Because I come on after all of them. After all of them. You're in the chat. I'm allowed to say, well, you're allowed to talk and I'm not. Where's my freedom of speech? Are you kidding me right now? Get over yourselves. What is up, Raw Dog? What is up? They bring things up from months. I know, exactly. Can you have Rich chat scrolling on your screen? You want me to add, can I do that? No, I can't because it's not my let's see, it's not my thing. I can't add his chat to it. I don't think. Let me see. Will that work? Tell me if you see any of the minions on that screen. Go ahead, minion, say something. I don't think it's going to show that. And I can't see it anyway. Don wants all the people from my chat to go to Richard's. You can see the minions? All right, there you go.
You can see the minions?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't see it on there, though.
Yeah, I see them
I
going
don't
across.
see it.
You see them?
It's weird
Yeah,
looking.
all right, it's peculiar. All right, I see it. You're a minion, peculiar. Yeah, a little bit can't chat over there either, so it is more fun for her over there. She's the newest flipper. But anyway, all right, so Rich, you want to, by the way, when someone wants to throw something out about your husband, they should kind of be a little careful when their own husband's facing certain things, and they better hope karma don't come back at them. Just saying. All right, so you want to go over this one? You feel like reading more, Rich? You sure?
I just poured myself a nice, may very well be a frosty beverage.
You're just so good because you can. I like the way when you read it, you explain what everything means. So hold on, let me get rid of this doc here.
I got the Maker's Mark and some bitters and some moonshine cherries. So
You love your bitter.
Rich, I have a great idea. Why don't we get this guy Jason Fox to sponsor your channel?
could do that.
He works with marketing. He works
Speaking of Jason's, before you put that on, I don't see Jay Hip. Since Michael Volpe abused
somebody
him.
said hi, Jay Hip, in there. I think Bearded said hello to Jay Hip, which kind of surprises me. But yeah, that's
I haven't seen Jay Hip since he got abused by Michael Volpe. If you want, I'll put up the minute 30 clip of Volpe abusing him.
Do that, dude.
You know what? That would be okay since I have to go to the ladies' room, and then I'll throw this up there.
All right, hold on. Let me put it up. Then we can get it.
All right.
Let's see. Volpe. Where is he? This is one of Michael Volpe's finest hours. It really is. I have several clips actually. I can. You want the one where he really abuses him, or you want where he just calls him a fraud? Which one do you want?
Yeah, real abuse.
The real abuse.
All right. That's a good one.
I mean, ask Megan questions. Jay Hip is in our audience. Jay, what do you think of what Google AI has said? You talk a lot of trash. What do you think? What's your response? Thank you. That's an excellent response, Jay. But what do you think of what Google AI said? Is Jeremy Hales engaging in legally frivolous filings just to conjure up clicks? I like that they are delicious. It doesn't seem like you have a constructive argument to respond to what Google AI said. It seems like you're a complete and total fraud who isn't actually funny, thinks he is, but can't answer any of these questions. Jay, go ahead. What do you have to say to what Google AI said? Jay, AI dominated. I do a comedy show, but you talk about this legal battle. Do you agree with Google AI? Are you covering for comedy legally frivolous filings that are designed to do nothing but generate clicks and bully people? Is that what you're about?
Yeah. Joe Rogan does.
Are you using people's suffering for your own humor? Is that what you're about, Jay?
Here we go.
I don't use AI. No, I understand. Go ahead and respond to what you is Google AI wrong? Is it wrong? Challenge the AI. Tell me where Google AI is wrong.
Listen, Joe Rogan does an entertainment show as well. He doesn't profess to be an expert, but he doesn't put people on that are telling falsehoods, and he doesn't, spin false narratives.
He does, but he doesn't bully. He doesn't bully private people who didn't ask for it. I can tell you that. I'm undefeated in court against Leslie. I didn't ask you about your case against Leslie, Jay. And as I understand it, that case hasn't gotten to the legal merits. But are you using people's suffering for your own humor, Jay?
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
What does the audience think? Did he think
what should people think of someone who uses people's suffering for their own humor, Jay?
Does the audience think that Jay is using people's suffering to promote his channel?
I see the people in your chat right now where it's doing the same thing.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah, grow up. Bearded's telling Jay to grow up.
Right.
I think that's about right.
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 So, do you use people's suffering for comedy? Is that your deal? No, I make fun of people doing dumb shit on YouTube, but you cover this legal case. How come you're not pointing out the dumb shit that Jeremy Hales does? All of his lawsuits get dismissed. Have you made fun of Jeremy Hales when his lawsuits get dismissed? Jay, why don't you drop a link to one of the YouTube shows that you did where you made fun of Jeremy Hales? Jay, drop a link to one of the shows you did where you made fun of Jeremy Hales.
Volpe's just going off.
He's had multiple federal lawsuits get dismissed as being frivolous. You must have done one show where you made fun of him getting his lawsuit dismissed. Go ahead and drop that link for us. Yeah, you covered Jeremy Hales. You say you covered people doing dumb shit. Where is the show? Where is the 1 minute where you made fun of Jeremy Hales? Jay, you know why I know you didn't do it? Because the only way you get his audience is by never saying a bad word about him. You're a fraud. That's right. They don't make fun of Jeremy Hales because they can't. Because the minute they make fun of him, then his audience goes away. It's all calculated. They can't make fun of him. It's part of the deal.
Little bit, you're a thief. Bow down to whom? You're a fucking thief, period.
Yep. So I got that. I got another one too if you want. Or you want to go to this one next?
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay, let me get another one. Let's see. This is Volpe, in his finest hour. He was just wow. Oh, this is when you go back to the AI.
He doesn't listen to good advice. All right, where is it? Okay, here we go.
Channel run by creator Jason Hipsher or J Hip is a smaller commentary and live streaming channel that functions as part of the core online with around 5,000 subscribers. The channel describes its own as narky fun, where the host doesn't sugarcoat anything. I see a digital foot soldier in the supporter network monetizing the drama relies heavily on emotional investment of Team Hales. Now, Jay Hip told me that he makes fun of people doing dumb things. Hales has had several lawsuits dismissed.
Makes sense too.
Does he make fun of Hales? No, does not make fun of Hales. I see. So your comedy is very like minor. This is like the comedians who said we can't make fun of Barack Obama. Comedians who made fun of every politician, but they couldn't make fun of Barack Obama. That's nice, Jay. I'm glad you came here to tell us all about what you do on your channel and how you make fun of people doing dumb things, except for Jeremy Hales. But go ahead. Hey, if we're wrong, drop one of the links where you made fun of Jeremy Hales. Or tell us, why don't you ever make fun of, I don't cover my own. I don't know what that means, Jay. Why don't you, can you tell us, why have you never made fun of Jeremy Hales? This is a guy who lost a federal lawsuit where most of the people were self-represented, and he had a lawyer, and it was dismissed with prejudice. How come you didn't make fun of him for that?
Look at this bingo.
How come you don't make fun of him, Jay?
Under a sock account.
We're not going to get an answer from him. You know that.
Yeah, he doesn't have an answer for that. Do you guys want another question for the AI?
Yeah. Oh, didn't Megan Fox Ryder bring J Hip on board? What is J Hip's relationship with Megan Fox?
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I don't know if it'll know that. How did J Hip come to be involved in the Jeremy Hales storyline? Entered with the Hales storyline through the internet's LawTube and drama commentary communities, rather than being an original neighbor of the Friends.
Florida Native is right there.
Oh, there it is. When the neighbor dispute between Hales and Preston Cook, high profile began streaming, smaller creators realized that what the Hales audience was incredibly polarized and highly eager to reward anyone who supports Hales. Hey, Jay, since we have you here, do you agree with Google AI? Is that a fair interpretation of your thinking?
Where are all the super chats? Oh, wait, Lisa's chat is broke. Why do you care about my super chats, Jared? You're not even a fucking
I don't. Jay, is it a fair interpretation that you were eager to that you saw that the internet was eager to reward anyone who supported Jeremy Hales? Did you support Jeremy Hales strictly to get clicks and views, not because you thought it was right? I covered having a back and forth with fake Megan. I don't know what that means, Jay. You're here in this live on August 13th, 2026. Did you cover what the Hales because you saw an opportunity for a highly eager audience to reward anyone who supported Jeremy Hales? You said you don't use AI, so do you deny that?
I love your chat, Richard. There's so much shit there.
Crazy shit going on. All right, that's enough of that. Highlights of Volpe taking J Hip to the woodshed.
He was great, man. That was awesome. That was awesome. He's right, because J Hip is nothing. I mean, he's making money off of others in every which way possible. You know what I mean? So it's actually kind of pathetic. You know, you're not creative enough to come up with your own shit, your own story, something to talk about. You know what I mean? It's really quite pathetic. Give the donated money to the intended party, not you. The intended party, it wasn't an intended party, it was a project. Get your facts straight, bingo Bruty, you muppet. Jealous of what? Peculiar. Hey, Tammy Neal, You want to talk about some more shit? Let's talk. Let's talk. Whine and cry, baby. Good night, Kathy. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thinking, Lisa, I'm thinking, are you going to be on tomorrow night?
Me? Yeah, I'm going to be on tomorrow night.
Why don't we read the motion? Why don't we read the motion tomorrow night?
I think that would be great because you know what? I'm going to have something tomorrow night that's going to shock the shit out of the minions.
Oh, really?
Yes. As a matter of fact, we might even be able to watch some kind of reaction for it.
It's not like, what, 15, 20 pages. Rather than do it now, let's do it tomorrow. You know, they're going to start to try to talk about it tomorrow. So when I'll look around, see what, that Yosemite Sam wanted, if you missed the coop. They'll try to start spinning it tomorrow. I guarantee they already have the talking points out. I don't know what else is on tomorrow. Is the Shizzy Nona on tomorrow? They'll probably start talking about it.
I just gave them content for like ever.
I know, you give content for the rest of the week. So, we'll see what happens. Then again, they may very well ignore it because it makes too much sense.
I know, that's what happens. When there's anything that is in favor of, or proving Hales to be a fool or an idiot, they don't talk about it.
Anything that it shows the Emperor has no clothes, shows that Germ is an idiot. You're right. Anything that shows that Germ really has no basis for what he's doing, he's going to lose, that type of stuff, they don't want to talk about it. Did they talk about it?
You're so wrong. That's why Fed 2 is dismissed, right? I've been lying all along, right? It's the law, people. If you can comprehend the law, you'll get it. If you can't comprehend the law, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Don't know what to tell you. That she lied. Really? Do you have the storage unit video, Dose Reality? I bet you don't. I don't even know what the first part of what he said was. This is about you, Lisa, holding the money, thief, if not handed over. Really?
Really?
Money was supposed to go to projects, not to a certain person or a specific person. This is why you're acting like an idiot right now. You don't even know what you're talking about. And you're following all these little minions in their narrative. You don't even know what you're talking about. Is Little Bit not in chat anymore? No, Little Bit is not in this chat anymore, but she's over on Richards right now, joining in with the minions.
She's having fun with the minion?
Did Gabe comprehend the law? I don't know. Has anybody ever, smoked anything, pot or whatever before getting a card or anything like that with the law? Have you ever been like under 18 and drank a beer? Because that's the type of shit you're talking about right now. Projects my ass not done? Really? Brew, why don't you come up and say who you are? Why are you hiding under a stupid little screen name? Say who you are. The storage unit, really? Are you sure about that? Are you sure? We're skiing slopes. Yeah, we're skiing slopes. So are you trying to say that I used coke? Because it was found on a urine test? That I used coke? I guess Don B likes those 5-hour energy drinks. He keeps talking about them. Yeah. By the way, when people turn around and order products from you, and then they claim they don't have them, they didn't get them, but send you pictures of the products that they received, and then go and get all their money back, and then try to call you a thief or you a scammer, that's kind of funny, considering someone's holding on to products that they got for free. So, a little bit, kiss my fucking ass. Say what you will, you're a fucking thief. Period. Anyway, so Lisa doesn't use coke. She's clearly now I'm a meth head. The woman who's absolutely against drugs. But anyway, sorry. So Richie, you want to do this tomorrow night with the motion because there's some other things.
I think that makes the most sense, right?
Yeah.
It's already 12:30.
Yeah, I got a late start tonight.
Yeah, but it's already 12:30. A bunch of people already went to bed. And so might as well we'll do that. We'll set the show up for tomorrow to be like, you know, jam packed. You got big surprises coming anyway, you know. And you know, I really think, I want the people to tell me what they think about this, because, you know, I always want to figure out ways to develop content and good shows and things that people want to read and want to see. I really do want to interview vibrator salesman to see which one is Megan Fox's vibrator salesman, and whether in fact she has a vibrator in the shape of a breadstick. I think that, given what the Hales people have done, you know, I think that is a fair line of questioning.
Go take care of your husband there a little bit. I think he needs you. Go ahead.
But I think that's a fair line of questioning. I think we'll bring the several vibrator salesmen on, and we'll question. We'll show the pictures of the piglet. We'll show the pictures of breadsticks. You know, we'll ask them, you know, if Piglet's been a customer. You know, she bought the vibrator, a breadsticks, you know, vibrator. It's shaped by now, and they have some big breadsticks nowadays. You know, you ever go to the Olive Garden? That's a pretty damn big breadstick they give you at the Olive Garden. They might have like a super Olive Garden breadstick for her. Who knows? You know, and you know what? I don't think that she even cares about a gag reflex. You know, anything that goes anywhere near her mouth goes right down it. You've seen how that woman looks. You know, so it is what it is. I wonder if she may have actually swallowed a couple of breadstick, you know, shaped vibrators. She might actually have like vibrations going on in her stomach right now, thinking that one of these breadsticks was a real breadstick. It was a vibrator.
Oh.
First off, Dawn, when something comes out of my account and is given back and I don't have it, she got all her money back, period. It's that simple. I don't care what this woman has to say. She literally, I know what the law is on this, and I don't even care what happens. As long as it goes down that she's written up that way, that's fine. I don't even care. But she's not going to be in the chat, and she can come and she can flip it. She can do whatever the hell she wants. I really don't care. All I know is that she should be paying more attention to her husband than mine. This woman is pathetic. Okay? She's absolutely a flipper. She's sitting there sending me screenshots of Shizzy, J-Hip, all these fucking people, and 30 minutes later tries to pull a threat because she didn't get a package in the mail that day. And it turns out she did. She did get a package in the mail. So, and then she tried to lie and said that the things weren't in it. She got giveaways and bits about giveaways. And meanwhile, on the ground,
what's up, honey?
So, you know, and as far as Bruce and hiring a lawyer, that was Bruce, not me. Stop saying I did this, you dumbass. Don, you're not a really good journalist because you don't even have the facts correct in any way, shape, or form. Okay? It doesn't matter where my husband is right now. This is not my husband's channel. This is my channel, and I am not in jail. Period.
Love you, Noel.
I am not in jail. You guys drug my husband into this and tried bringing him out. So my husband comes on every now and again. Okay? My husband told the truth all along, still telling the truth, and he's dealing with what he's got to deal with. And that's fine. That's it. Period. And y'all make him a rock star. That's fine. He's going to come out like a rock star. Just that. So anyway, oh, we got to fuck up a lot of better. Yeah, look at those reality, like flipping out. This guy tries to tag me in everything that he does. Let's see. Gabe down there. By the way, Jared, if you want the video, go get it yourself. Go get it yourself.
Oh, what up, Raw Doggy? Dude, I can barely see the chat because she's got two things going there.
Yeah, it's really small on the screen. But I don't know, but it all depends like who
Hey, you know, my philosophy. A lot of people are wondering, why don't you have mods? You know, Rich, why do you
damn it, Robbie.
I'm going to tell you my philosophy. It comes from the Howard Stern. When Howard Stern, before he became gay, Howard Stern was actually a very good and talented person. But when he'd say, you know, the average Stern, you know,
oh, Raw Doggy, I love you.
For a minute, for an hour. Average Howard Stern fan listens for 1 hour.
Good for you, Kathy. That's fabulous.
Hater listens for 2 hours and 30 minutes. So, you know, I don't mind having the haters come in there. They already hate you. They're paid shows, this and that. Let them come on. I don't care. I'm not going to stop them. Also, I believe in free speech. Let them say whatever the hell they want. because all they're going to say, it's going to be defeated by the truth.
Johnny Cash.
Right? Defeated by the truth. They're gonna try to do the talking points, the spin from Megan, the minister of disinformation, and Tug and Choosy Donuts.
You don't have to lie.
That's how it's gonna be. But when the truth comes out, they're gonna be debunked. So I can care less. Let them talk all they want. I put a poll on for the people, right? And I said, should I interview Piglet's vibrator salesman? And that poll is going through the roof at this point.
Look, guys, my husband had a couple of beers too many and didn't know what happened. I had to go get him. You guys know that. I didn't go live that night, and that's why. He went up in front of his probation officer, told his probation officer. So they said, okay, well, let's check. They did, and boom, that's it. And he's answering for it right now. But I can tell you right now, when all is said and done, the original charges will be gone. This actually gives him an opportunity to go in there and prove he was innocent from the get-go. So you guys are a bunch of idiots to actually sit there and leave all these messages and say all this stuff when you don't even know the truth. Keep talking. I don't care. I'm actually kind of glad that he's there because he gets to tell his truth eventually. So, it is what it is. And that's what's going on right now. And being that you guys don't know, it's none of your business, When has beers been cocaine? Tina, are you paying any attention whatsoever? This woman's pissed off because she didn't get a fucking giveaway. Pay for it. Pay for the shipping. He doesn't need a good lawyer, Don. He's giddy. He doesn't need one. You don't owe me. I don't owe them anything. I'm just answering. I'm just looking at stuff in the chat and how pathetic these people actually are. They seem to think that my husband's defense is a 5-hour energy drink because somebody sent me a video and I talked about it. That's how stupid these people are. Oh, that is hilarious. How is Gabe what? Indigent? I don't know. Let's see. How is he indigent? What paperwork are you actually looking at? Oh, something Tug showed? Really? Why don't you pay attention to the paperwork and the dates on it and stuff like that? Shove your giveaway up your arse. Did Megan B get hers yet? Megan B? I don't know. Is she bitching to you too? Is she? Since y'all are gathering together outside and talking shit, let's go on. Come on. Bring it all up. Let's go. Let's see who's bitching about the giveaways. A free giveaway. A free giveaway that you're supposed to pay the shipping for, because I'm not. Little Bit got several giveaways. You're a fucking liar, you little bitch. You sent a picture of what you got and then claimed you got nothing. Nothing. You're a liar. Does anybody want to see her fucking email to me, sending me pictures of what she received? And then I'll show you the lies she told people. See, I'm telling you, these people they're trying to be relevant, and they're really not. They have nothing to do with Hales. All this stuff they're talking about has nothing to do with Hales. I don't care, because in the reality of this, it's a matter of the Hales stuff, the court stuff. None of this other crap matters. You can try and attack the husband all you want. What?
Can you take the Richard's chat off your thing?
I can, yes, because to me, you can't even see it. It's so small.
It's so small, I can't see it. And it just, and nor do I care what's going on there.
Yeah. The bottom line, though, seriously, is like you can sit there and say whatever you want. We've been talking about Fed 2 for how long? And we were right. Okay. Jeremy has lost every case he's ever been in thus far. And he's going to lose more. And so you guys can go follow the breadsticks over there, whatever the fuck you want to talk about. I really don't care. Okay. I'm very open about my channel. I'm very open about my products, very open about my shipping, when I'm going to ship the whole 9 yards. This woman here that we're talking about right now, she was told her package was mailed out just like everybody else's last week. She received her package and tried to claim that nothing was there. Okay. She lied. Okay, she sent me an image of what she got and neglected to send that over to the people she bitched about. Or bitched to, I should say. Okay, look, it doesn't matter. You know what? Peculiar, if you don't like me talking, you can just click by.
Right, Connie Sue?
I've said lies about all you. Kathy Crizzle, when did I lie you, Miss Hater? Aren't you the Book of Faces, like Queen Hater over there? Why? Because I wouldn't answer you in a chat? Oh, no, we got Ozzy Allison. We have a Queen poster. Allison Dubin's over there. And here comes the rest of the hags. Hags for humanity, that is. You're an asshole. You're an absolute asshole a little bit. Pay more attention to your husband. You should have listened to your husband when he told you not to do what you did. Yeah. Anyway. So, Rich, tomorrow night. Enough of your chat. Enough of your chat. Your chat is a bunch of whining
These crazy maniacs. I love it.
whining crybabies over there.
My chat is pretty fucking awesome. I have a bunch of maniacs in there. And I got Bearded in there. Bearded's like the he's keeping all the order. He's like Law and Order in there.
Right.
Bearded, Law and Order. And I have the best poll questions. I put poll questions.
Lisa does do wrong. Lisa's not perfect. You're picking little things apart. It's crazy. Anyway, so tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, I will be here with a lot of fun stuff.
You got something big coming tomorrow. You said there's something big.
I do. And basically, we're going to we're going to tease a little bit tomorrow, and we're going to make some people want to drink some more over there on their channels. So we'll see. This fatty has done good. Anyway, we'll see who the liars are and where all this stuff goes and stupid little speculative bullshit is flying around. We'll see. We'll see what happened. Yes, we will. I enjoy talking to your county authorities today, Tammy Neal. All right. So tomorrow night, 10 o'clock. Rich, you're welcome. You'll be here, right?
Yeah, I'll let you do your start. I'll come in like 10, little at 10, 20, 10, 30 around there, and then we'll do what you gotta do. You gotta do your ramp up and tell everybody what's going on, and then pop in. Then we'll start reading some shit. We'll
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All righty, guys. So I am going to say goodnight, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Then it should be fun.
Good
Thanks a lot
night, everybody.
for doing that for me. I appreciate it. Good night, Robbie. Good night,
Good night.
everybody.
Good night. Good night, everybody. God
Love
bless
you.
first.
See you later.